morning, citizens of academia. Lovely to see some sun this morning, isn't it? Just beautiful. Now, the following courses have been cancelled: Ethics in Academia, Investigative Journalism, and Cheese History Through a Swiss Lens. Courses are non-refundable, of course, but we are offering generous transfers to very competitively priced courses in book banking, creative journalism, and post-edam studies. So, check the schedule below the knowing tree for more information on those. All look very exciting. I'm rather jealous. Well, I'm an expert in all those fields, but you know what I mean. To study them fresh is quite the experience. Right, I think I'm going to go have a smoothie in the sun. I'm happy to announce that next week we'll be seeing the awaited return of good Professor Yold from his summer research trip to the collective unconscious. Apparently it really is a must-see this time of year. Me and Minnie have actually been meaning to book a little cottage down there for a weekend away. Take it off the list, get it on the gram. I have been warned that Professor Yold has been a little short with people that send follow-up emails, and has claimed that he intends to give all his lectures in a more primal, less clothed fashion. And I'm sure some of you couldn't help but see his episode on Witter, where he stated that he sees through all of us and our petty, ego-driven preoccupations. Apparently, a little too much sherry that night, perhaps. But then everybody's a bit like that when they're adjusting back from break. It always takes a week or two to adjust and settle in again. And I'm sure we can help him proudly take to his pedagogical pedestal once again by giving him a warm welcome back. I'm sure we're all very grateful to have him securely back within the conviction of our cloisters. Just don't mention reptiles to him. Just develop some sort of thing about them. I don't know. Alice, this query you've emailed me just asked me in our seminar. There's no need for people to be embarrassed about not knowing something and having to ask. We're all learners here. Aside from that time Jacob Muffins asked who Bourdieu was, took us quite a while to believe that he was actually so dim-witted as to have meant Bourdieu. I'm afraid that one may have made its way to the faculty lounge, Jacob. Some even found it offensive to butcher the language, which is a fair point. But we laughed at how detached from reality you must be. Don't know what you've going to be doing with your time, or with your library. Some of our younger students will be ascending to secondary today. Well, I suppose not so young anymore, Anyway, I'd like to welcome you to the beginning of your secondary education. I bet you thought those childhood summer holidays would last forever, didn't you? No, they're over. The promise of that glorious stretch of weeks. Too many to comprehend for a child. That endless potential that lay before you. Anyway, we've moved on from that, and as the clouds approach, it's time to grow up and get your head down to work. And let this wake-up call be the first of many entitled delusions we must free you from. Never again will you experience such liberty. In fact, your summers will become shorter with each year. You'll even begin to dread them, marking off another year you will never get back. Simply a symbol of all the things you failed to achieve. until the hope to recapture that freedom of your youth becomes nothing more than a dream to keep you from ending it all. But I don't tell you this to be cruel. I tell you this to motivate you. Statistically, only the highest performing of you shall ever attain the promised life of those long summers again. Should you not apply yourself adequately, you will be condemned to cursed summers, the sun lighting up the world, not a sign of joy, but only serving as a reminder of the world that is not for you. You'll never be able to achieve anything like the feeling of your youth, certainly. You will be all too aware of your deteriorating health in your age. Only getting older now. The accelerating decline has just begun for you, in fact. You will decay, and you will die. So, welcome to your secondary education. However, with discipline and faith from this point onwards, those successful will immortalize themselves in publication, so that you may never die, but live on through future students who study your work. So let this secondary competition commence. And remember, the more you look behind you, the less you will maintain the focus to look forward and succeed. Oh, and Benjamin Pudding, you are actually expelled. Just an administration error where one of your pieces was mismarked, marked a little higher than it should have been last year. So the prefects will escort you out after extracting the knowledge you've gained so far, as in the outside world it will simply be a source of torment for you. You don't want that burden. Anyway, the rest of you I will heartily welcome. I will see you for the group feast, which now will be in the Great Hall. You've graduated from the not-so-great hall. So that's just the first of many more responsibilities that will come your way.